Hello, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Emmanuel, Emmanuel, Mike, Brian, Eunice, Igalo. I hope you're all doing well. So, welcome to our weekly market forecast, where we're going to look on all the three types of analysis, starting with the sentimental analysis. And under sentimental analysis, there is a lot which is ongoing. There's a lot ongoing. I'm sure you have seen over the weekend, Trump has increased the global tariffs from 10% to 15%. So this week we have to pay much attention to that. Again, on Friday, Trump was trying to impose some taxes on China, and then the courts did something opposing the same. So there's a lot going that is now in terms of trade wars. Again, geopolitical side, I'm sure you have seen about Iran, US. There is a lot ongoing on the other side. So first we go to my FX book. We go to my FX book uh, under the section of community. Then we drop down there under sentiments. We drop there under sentiments, where we are going to see some of these uh, sentiments based on the statistics available. Yeah. So under sentiments, we drop down there. The first one is GBPUSD. Sorry, we have Euro USD being the first one. You can see we have 43% of traders are on shorts, while 57% are on longs. So there's high probability that this week we are going to experience more sales in the Euro USD pair. For the GBP USD, you have 44%, 56% on long. So there's high probability we are going to have more traders on sales. Sorry about that. I forgot to share my screen. Allow me to share it. Sorry about that. Uh-huh. I hope you can now see my screen. I hope you can see my screen now. So I was talking of this. The first one, which is Euro USD, you can see the percentages there. For GBP USD, you can see the same. Looking at USD JPY, you can see we have 53% of traders are in for sales, while 47% are in for buys. With this kind of statistics, I told you the other day, we normally have a high probability of consolidation, but let's wait and see what happens. For GBP, JPY, you can see the percentages as well. Uh-huh. For this one, USD card, you can see the shorts are 40%, longs are 60%. So in this case, you just join the minority, which is the 40%, so you can be in for longs. So once you go to technicals, you have to be looking for entries and so on. Let's check on gold, and then we move to something else in regards to sentiments as well. I'll show you something else which is very important. So coming to XAUUSD, you can see 40% of traders are on sales, while 60% are on buys. So in this case, we might see sales taking over the week, but remember there's a lot happening in the geopolitical side and also in the trade side, that is now economical. So we'll be following up and see what's popping up in the news. So something else you need to check, and mostly you need to be checking this on the weekend, is CNBC news. You check on CNBC news. Then mostly if you trade indices, stocks, and all those, this is a channel you need to be following very closely, because now you can see here we have what you can see, we have India delays Washington trade visit as US tariff policy shifts. You can see here uh, Trump says he's considering limited military strikes against Iran. This is about the geopolitics I was talking about. So if you want to read the whole of it, you just click and you're going to get more news concerning that. Uh, all the news are here. Supreme Court strikes down Trump tariffs, rebuking the president's signature economic policy. So tomorrow we are going to see a lot happening in the markets. You need to be very, very much prepared for that kind of volatility. Uh, there's a lot, yeah, because where is it? Routine pays rises. That's on. This the one which was about the increase of tariffs, which are tariffs are taxes on imported goods. For those who maybe don't know, I believe you have known what tariffs are. So we can now shift and check on now the economic calendar. We can look on the economic calendar. We can move on and look on the economic calendar. So make sure you have or you check on this CNBC. You can have the app or you can use the website as well. Make sure you follow up, because you are going to be getting all the breaking news over here. Yeah. So let's check now on the Forex factory so that we can see how the economic calendar for this week looks like. So let's check on the economic calendar. So once you go to Forex factory, just click on calendar. You click on calendar, and then you can see the entire week's news events here. So tomorrow is on Monday, and tomorrow being on Monday, you can see in Japan we are going to have a bank holiday. So if you're trading JPY pairs, be careful with that. Again, we are going to have a bank holiday in China. So if you are trading pairs on yuan, be careful as well. On Monday, I don't see any other important news there. Tuesday, I can't see any important news. On Wednesday, the important news here are the ones with the red. These are for Austria. That is about the CPI. It's about CPI on Austria. I'm not going to give comment on that because I don't follow up the Australian economy very closely. I normally follow the US one. At 5 a.m., Trump is going to be giving a speech. So this is one of the news we need to follow up. We just need to know what is he planning to do. From the speech, you can just learn what is talking about, and you can know his intentions. And then from there, you can know which direction for you to take.
Excuse me.
Pardon?
Uh, excuse kidogo.
Yeah,
When you say, for example, that 5 a.m., is it the Kenyan time or the US time?
this is Kenyan time, eh?
Okay, okay.
Yeah, very early in the morning, before 6. hmm so that was on Wednesday. On Thursday, the major news we have on Thursday is the unemployment claims, and this is weekly. This is a report which is released each and every week in the US. And I believe last Sunday, I explained about this news deep. So if you have not checked on that video, you can just go and check on it. That was for last Sunday. It should be for, is it 6 days or 7 days ago? Just check it on our YouTube channel, you're going to see that. So in the previous week, the outcome was actual was less than forecast, actual less than forecast, which led to a bullish dollar index and sales on gold and other XXX as we had anticipated in the previous week. So this coming week, I as well expect an actual less than forecast. The forecast is this one, 216,000 is the forecast. So I expect an actual less than forecast, and if it's actual less than forecast, that's good news for the government or for the economy. So the local currency in this case, which is the dollar, will be gaining some value. On Friday, we have GDP, gross domestic product, month over month. Is month over month, that is in Canada. Then we are going to have core PPI in the US, month over month, and then we have the PPI itself. Now, when we see about this CPI, PPI, PCE, all these are things to do with inflation. And maybe to some of you who don't know what inflation is the rate at which the general price of goods and services increase over a time. And in this case, when we talk of CPI, that is now Consumer Price Index, which we had in the previous week, measures prices consumers pay. CPI is for consumers, the money you pay to buy goods or pay for services. That lies under CPI. Then PPI measures price which now producers in car, right? In producers pay, the amount they pay. And then we have now what you call the, you have seen, like in this case you can see we have core PPI. In CPI you have seen we are about core CPI, you have seen core PCE, you know. So the core inflation, this is the whole inflation excluding food and energy prices, because energy prices and food are very volatile. The prices change anytime, but let's say price for a car, it can take even like 3 years before the price goes up or down. But the price for oil, it can be $2 today, and maybe by morning it can be $3. So food and energy are excluded when the Fed is now measuring the rate of inflation. So Fed normally focuses on the core PPI, core CPI, and core PCE. These are now the Fed watch tools, right? Yeah. So in this case, we are going to have now the core PPI, that is month over month, which measures the monthly change in prices that producers receive for their goods and services. PPI, producer price index, and it shows how much prices increased or decreased at the wholesale level compared to the previous month. That's why it's month over month. So in this case, if now you are trading this and you see that we have an actual and forecast, actual and previous. If the actual is greater than previous, that's a good news for the dollar, as it implies that inflation is doing what? Inflation is going up. That is now what we said is hawkish. When we are talking now the Fed language, we say that is hawkish. So if we have an actual greater than previous or actual greater than forecast, we expect a bullish dollar index. And if that is to happen, that shows inflation is going high or is going up. And when inflation goes up, What the Fed does in return, it increases the interest rates in order to curb or in order to cool down or bring down inflation. The Fed uh, is the federal government, the federal bank in the US. The central bank, like here in Kenya, is we have the CBK, that is the Central Bank of Kenya. In Uganda, we have there's every country have their central bank. So the Fed is not the central bank for the United States, right? So that is it on the economic calendar, guys. That is it on the economic calendar. So with that being said, I don't know if we have anyone with a question, and if there's anyone with a question, kindly uh, just unmute your mic, ask your question before we proceed to the next part, which is now the technical analysis part. So if you have a question, kindly unmute your mic, ask your question, then we can proceed now to the technical analysis part, which is the last part. We check on what we expect in the market this coming week, and we call it a day. So if no question, we can move forward and proceed to the technical analysis part, where we're going to check on a few pairs. I believe last week was a great week for all of you, because all setups I shared, they all gained, and everything was well. Yeah. So let's check on the markets afresh and see what we expect this coming week. First things first, we start with the dollar index to give us um, direction. So we start with the DXY, that is the dollar index. We start with the DXY, that is the dollar index. And also don't forget, we normally do what we call top down analysis. We start from higher time frames, drop into lower time frames. That is now monthly, weekly, daily, 4 hours, 1 hour. And in most cases, we start with the weekly time frame as the higher time frame. So let's get into it. We start with the dollar index, or the DXY. And in DXY, I normally like analyzing under capital.com. DXY. So let's check. So like for last week on DXY, I expected the market to go up, and then after going up to this zone, drop. And you can see the market came up, went past the zone, and then here the market tried coming down, but it failed to continue dropping, and then the market went up. So let's have a fresh analysis on the dollar index, so that we can see what we expect this coming week. Let's check. Let's check. Let's check. Let's check. Let's see what we expect. Let's see what we expect from the market. So after DXY, I'll be checking on gold. If you have any other pair you'd like me to check on, just comment in the comment section. I'm going to check it for you. We're going to check it. So this is the weekly time frame for the dollar index. As you all know that I normally have different approaches sometimes to the market when it comes to this. So what I'll do first, we have this imbalance over here. I'll have it marked there. So if you check now, for those who trade the CRT, the candle range, you can see what happened in the previous week. The market took out the previous week's high. Market took out the high of last week, but one now. You can see market took out the high, but it failed to take out the low. The low happened to be the turning point. So that means these are very strong support level, maybe in 1 hour, 4 hours going down. Now, in the previous week, this is now the high. This is now the high of last week. and then we have the low. So I mark the high and the low of last week. That is it. With those two being marked, I have the playground. If the market decides to come down and take out this low, I can expect it now to start going up after taking the low. Or if the market decides to go up, the market decides I'm going up, then it breaks the high of last week's and gives me a new high probably at my imbalance now. I can be sure I can look for sales now on the dollar index. So that is now my playground here on weekly time frame. And don't forget that we have the imbalance there being marked. So I love to mark 50% of this imbalance. Actually, it's already achieved, so there's no need for me to mark. So we will just keep our eyes on this level, the 98,320. If the market keeps on going up, of which that is now my expectation, because now if you check on this market, you can see in the previous, these are 4 weeks candles. The market has been giving us higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. Expect for this one, where the market did not give us a new high, but it failed to give what? It failed to take out this lowest low over here. So let's go to daily time frame. Maybe the market will show us something making sense. Let's see if the market is going to give us something making sense. So now coming to this, um, coming to daily time frame. Coming to daily time frame, you can see where we have marked our imbalance on the daily time frame. It also happens to be an order block on the on this sorry, what we have marked as an imbalance on weekly time frame, it happens to be an imbalance, sorry, an order block in the daily time frame. So this is a very strong level of resistance or supply zone, so we have to keep our eyes on it. We have to keep our eyes on it. And then if you check on the last day, that is now on Friday, look on how that candlestick closed. When the market tried dropping, then pulled back and it closed somewhere there. Now if you are that kind of a person who it's very keen, you will see there's something the market is trying to do in this daily time frame. The market is trying to form what we call an inverted head and shoulders pattern over here. This is going to be our left shoulder over there. Then anything below the zone I've just marked is the head, and then what the market will form currently now with what is happening currently, if the market decides to drop to this level or to this candlestick here, just let's say around the zone to this zone and then goes up, it will have given us what? An inverted head and what? Inverted head and shoulders. Again, if you open your eyes well, you will see that the market has been moving in the phases I told you. The impassive phase, that is the strong move towards one direction. Then after every impasse, you have a correction and impasse. So currently, whatever is happening here is a possible correction, which might now push the market to this zone, and then we can expect an impassive drop, an impassive drop. The market moves in these phases. Whichever direction the market is moving in, you will see a strong move towards one direction, then correction, another impassive move, and that's how the market moves. We will check more on that when we are back to technical analysis sessions, probably this coming week, maybe once a week session, not bad, but I'll communicate on that. So this is now the channel we are having here on daily time frame. This is what the market is trying to create. So now that is it all on the daily time frame on DXY. Let's go to 4-hour time frame. Let's go to 4-hour time frame and see what's happening there. Let's see 4-hour time frame. So coming to 4-hour time frame, whatever I was just telling you back there, you can now start seeing it clearly. The inverted head and shoulders. We have this shoulder over here. Whatever is below here can be used as the head, and now you can see the market is here. So the market might decide the zone I marked actually came to be an order block here. I hope you can see it. So the market can decide to come here, give us a third touch, and then we can now go up to look for that touch as well. Let me go back and fix that zone. Uh-huh. Let me fix it as it should be. So it's fixed. This is what I was telling you. So the market might decide to do that, give us a third touch here, and then go up to give us a third touch as well. And that is the probability I can see. Remember, the market is full of probabilities and possibilities. Again, something else you need to understand in this market. The market did a very impulsive move over here. Whatever the market is doing here is a possible correction, which might come up to this level, or here where we have the balance over there, and then the market can continue going up. That is what I can see on my side. So I'll be patiently waiting for the market to come to this zone actually. Then from there I can uh, do something in terms of now the longs. Remember, on the sentimental side, we saw that there's high probability to have sales on GBPUSD, sales on EURUSD, buys on USD card, and if the dollar index is, let's say, like in this case, when the dollar is selling, that is the DXY, GBPUSD will be opposite, it will be buying, EURUSD will be buying. All the pairs that have that is now the XXX, whereby the base is not the dollar but the quote is the dollar. The second currency happens to be the dollar. The pairs will be moving against the dollar, but the ones with a dollar base, they will be moving in the same direction as the dollar. I believe you have understood that. So that's my take on DXY. And actually, if you check on this 1 hour, you will see we have an head and shoulders pattern here in 1 hour. We have a shoulder over there. Whatever is above my zone there is the head, and whatever the market is trying to do here is a possible right shoulder. So that one might push the market to our anticipated zone. That is it on DXY. I don't know whether there's anyone with a different view on the same. So we can check on gold. You can check on gold. That is XAUUSD. The precious metal. The precious metal. I like using Forex. Forex.com on that. For gold, I like using Forex.com. Alright, so let's check on gold. Gold, last week things were very nice on gold. So on Sunday we expected the market to come to this zone and then to go up. The market came to the zone, went up a little bit, then it dropped massively. We got the moves, even for the sales we got them. And then later you can see the market rallied. The market moved up like crazy. Remember guys, I've told you this week, make sure you closely monitor what is happening in the geopolitical side. That is the tension in Iran. Yeah, make sure you follow up, because now if the war breaks out or escalates, we are going to see gold giving us another new high, and probably this time it can go to $6,000 per ounce. So this is monthly time frame. What I've done, I've just marked the all-time high. That was at around 56. That was 56, 5600 actually. It was 5600. It was at 5600. It was at 5600. Now, with the current month, you can see it has happened that gold had dropped and then it has given what? A pullback. That means buyers are still very strong. So before the end of the month or in the beginning of the new month, we might see gold giving us a new high. If things on the other side keep going as they are, that is now in the geopolitical side and also in the economic side. That is now, if Trump keeps on pushing on the tariffs thing, you know. Again, now this is a weekly time frame. You can see we had a very strong demand here with another block where the market reversed from previously. The market tapped in and then it started going up. So now the previous week you can see this was the law. This is where we had the law of last week, which took out the law of the previous week. The law of the previous week was taken out. Something very interesting is that the high of the previous week was not taken out. Something very interesting. The high was not taken out. Sorry. So now, if you base now your argument with this CRT now, you can say there is a probability that this coming week we are going to see gold being bearish again. That is not technically, but don't forget what we have said. In the fundamental side, there's a lot we need to watch, and fundamentals move this market. So there's a probability we might see this market up here again. Remember, I had marked 50% of this. I had marked 50% of this long wick candlestick here. The long candlestick there, I marked it's 50%. It's of significance. You will see what will happen when the market comes to that level. That was at 5300. 5300 is a point to watch. 5300. So now, with all that we have seen happening over the weekend, we might get the market even around 5200. And maybe if the market pushes to this level and it drops a little bit, maybe back to this here, to the zone over here, then we can go up. That's something which I anticipate it can possibly happen. It can happen. So that is this is what weekly time frame. Let's go to daily time frame and see maybe if we have something making sense on on daily time frame. What you can see, where currently the market is at, we have had an imbalance over there. We have had an imbalance over here. We have had an imbalance over here. So market is currently at a very strong resistance level or a very strong supply zone. So what or how the market opens will determine the next move in gold. If the market goes up, we can expect it now to come to this level between the 5300 to this 5420 around there. Yeah. So how the market opens will determine a lot for this new trading week. But high probability we are going to have buys, as you have seen. As I've just shown you what Trump is doing in terms of the tariffs. If you come to this 4 time frame, coming to 4 time frame, you can see in the last 2 weeks the market has been consolidating over here. So this time we can now expect the market to break to the upper side to grab liquidity, then come to the point of interest we have over here, and also we have another block. We have another block just slightly above our point of interest. So there. So we can, what I can highly expect now is the market to come here. Then from there maybe a short drop to either here or somewhere around, and then we can continue going up. This is this 4 time frame. So let's see 1 hour. Let's see what we have in the 1 hour time frame. Now coming to 1 hour time frame, you will see that gold gave an inverted head and shoulders, which was not very clear to many. You can see we had, this is a shoulder over here, then the end of year, and then whatever was happening here was the right shoulder, and the market started going up, going up. So market open, we expect a bullish gap. Like we expect the market to open with a gap while the market is on the upside. So once the market opens, maybe it might decide to give a little drop and then continue going up. So we'll wait and see how the market opens. That is my take on gold. That's my take on gold. I'm still very bullish on it. I'm still very bullish on it. We'll wait for the right opportunities to come. So that is it. I don't know if there is anything else you guys would like us to talk about. Kindly, if there is any, unmute your mic or you just type in the comment section there. We had a look on was it US oil last Sunday? Let's see how things went on this side. Then, for those who took the trade, guys, for those who took this trade, things are good. For those who took this trade, you got something nice. For those who took this trade on last Sunday, things are well, and we expect the market to keep going up. We expect the market to continue going up. So if you would like to trade crude oil, you can look for an entry in the coming week. And as I have always been telling you, I mostly like giving you setups for you to look for your own entries. Because now, if I give you everything, you are going to be lazy. You need to work. I just give you the trend bias. Use the knowledge I've given you to look for entries, and we are going to be doing more on technical analysis because from the data I collected, I noticed that majority of you are under the intermediate level, and I know the biggest challenge here is normally one, getting entries. Number two is about psychology, and then the last one is capital. So those are the three major challenges which face people uh, when they are now under the intermediate level. But we are going to push through and believe by the end of the day we will make it. So that is it from me this week. Can I let me see GBPUSD? Although I did not want to check on it, but let's see. So just by looking on this market, you can see the market. You can see. So the previous week we expected the market to come in and then go up, but it failed. So the market is dropping. So we can expect it to go where? Already the market has touched this. The market has already touched this other band, so it can decide to go up, to first drop again, then go up, or anything can happen with it. Yeah, GBPUSD. So if you have a small account and you in the coming week you see that gold is not settled, I highly advise you to go for currencies. You can trade either USD JPY or GBPUSD. For small accounts that is now let's say below $10 you can trade, or $10 and below you can trade. Those two currencies are good. Your account is maybe almost blowing at its edge, maybe $2, $1, you can try reviving it with the USD JPY. It's a good pair. Yeah, so that is it. We can call it a week. We can call it a day. Sorry, not a week. We can call it a day as we wait for the new trading week. We can call it a day as we wait for the new trading week. I wish you all a peaceful trading week. ahead. See you next Sunday in the weekly market forecast session. Again, see you next Sunday. It's your boy signing out.